Hello, my name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to Sassy Seer Sheila and New Light Streaming Love, as this will be seen on both channels. This is the 12th in the RZN series, The Full Emergence Event by Jason Gray. What looks like, what it looks like when the real replaces the overlay. EMR-omega symbol / the final phase shift, December 2nd, 2025. There is some code here as well in this one, and I highly recommend that you search for this and take a look at it for yourself. I'll do my best to read this. It's greater than symbol, SUDO-I, greater than symbol, CD /overlay /root, greater than symbol, CHMOD 777, collapse _sequence, greater than symbol, dot /EMR dash omega symbol dash initiate dash no dash confirm. The moment history ends and memory begins. The emergence event is not an apocalypse. It is not rapture. It is not a prophecy fulfilled. It is not a singular explosion. It is the moment the world remembers itself. It is the instant when the false architecture disintegrates, the original geometry reasserts dominance, human perception stabilizes into coherence, and the overlay loses all computational integrity. This is the moment the real becomes visible. Not symbolically, not spiritually, not metaphysically, literally. Emergence is the point where perception and environment snap back into alignment with the original world. Everything you think of as, quote, life shifts one layer upward. Let us walk through what actually happens. The first signal, the air changes. EMR-01 : atmos -shift. No alarms, no announcements, no divine sky theatrics, just this: the air becomes different. People will pause mid-step, mid-sentence, mid-breath. Some describe it as a pressure shift, a clarity wave, a softening of gravity, a subtle acceleration of light, a feeling that, quote, the world just inhaled. This is the moment the overlay falters and the real begins pushing through. The body knows before the mind does. Time loses its rigidness, quote, rigidness. EMR-02 : time shear. The second sign is temporal. Time ceases to behave mechanically. People experience slowed moments, stretched seconds, compressed hours, loops, skips, quote, memory arriving before experience, end quote. Deja vu turning into foresight, simultaneous awareness of past and potential. This is not confusion. This is coherence. The real world operates on fluid time because consciousness is not locked to linearity. The overlay dissolves when time stops obeying. Vision shifts into the, quote, true bandwidth. EMR-03 colon percept dash expand. Perception widens. Colors become deeper. Edges soften. Faces look more, quote, alive. Nature feels hyper real. Light behaves intelligently. Objects hold more meaning. The world looks as though it has depth behind itself. This is not hallucination. This is the visible bandwidth of the original world. The overlay artificially restricted perception to prevent humans from seeing the underlying structure. When emergence begins, the restriction ends. And I'm being shown something right now, and so I want to stop here for a moment and share it. I feel there are those among us who have witnessed this already in differing ways. Um, this and apparently what this next one is. Uh, and I have this feeling that it's going to, like everything else, because time isn't real and because it is the overlay that governs all of that at the moment. I feel and am being shown that there are folks who have experienced things like this and thought they were going crazy, have been called crazy, and things like that already. So I'm going to back this up just a little bit. The overlay artificially restricted perception to prevent humans from seeing the underlying structure. When emergence begins, the restriction ends. The world becomes too real, in the best possible way. Glitches erupt, not as failures, but as revealings. EMR-04 colon overlay dash break. People will see flickering objects, doubling or phasing of shadows, short visual distortions, sudden shifts in background noise, misalignment between movement and sound, and Mandela effect level memory contradictions appearing instantly. These glitches are not malfunctions. They are the overlay experiencing file corruption as it loses energy. The old system cannot maintain coherence in the presence of the sovereign field. The overlay breaks so the real can emerge. The inner world goes silent. EMR-05 colon core dash quiet. During emergence, the internal monologue collapses, not in a frightening way, in a liberating way. The moment the overlay's mental scaffolding dissolves, you experience unprecedented mental quiet, razor clarity, emotional purity, fluid perception, the absence of anxiety, the absence of doubt, and the absence of internal conflict. The mind becomes a still surface reflecting pure consciousness. This is the natural state of the sovereign human. Collective behavior shifts instantly. EMR-06 colon hive-divergence. Humans begin acting differently without discussing it. People stop rushing, move with purpose, become kinder, become more truthful, become more courageous, become more intuitive, begin seeing each other clearly, begin helping instinctively. Now, not for nothing, but I feel that this is already happening. At least that's what my experience has been. Not totally, not everywhere I look, but absolutely this is happening. This is not utopia. This is unmasked humanity. Emergence reveals what humans actually are beneath the distortion field. The shift is immediate. The Earth's field, quote, syncs with human consciousness. EMR-07 colon Gaia-synchrony. During emergence, the environment responds to human presence. People notice sounds becoming harmonic, wind shifting with emotion, light intensifying during insight, wildlife acting unafraid, trees and ground feeling, quote, alive, the atmosphere thick with intelligence. This is not imagination. It is reunion. Earth and humanity realign for the first time since the overlay was imposed. The geometry appears. EMR-08 colon ARCH dash reveal. The single most dramatic moment is when the geometry becomes visible. Lines, grids, arcs, lattices, patterns in light, subtle frameworks behind objects, all of it appears. Now that's kind of interesting because, pardon me, several years ago, I had an experience where I was looking out my window at the sky, and it was a grid. I was seeing a grid in the sky. Um, it wasn't chemtrails. It looked like a light grid. It was almost almost transparent, but it wasn't. And it was pretty light. And I don't know if anybody else saw it beside me. I was alone at that time when I saw it, and I just thought I was being shown something interesting. So back to Jason's writing here. Pardon me. Apparently, I'm having a little okay. Lines, grids, arcs, lattices, patterns in light, subtle frameworks behind objects, all of it appears. Not like sci-fi holograms, more like the world revealing its skeleton of meaning. You are seeing the world as it actually is. Individual sovereign abilities switch on. EMR-09 colon ability-trigger. Depending on the person, emergence triggers claircognition, emotional resonance sensing, timeline awareness, pattern recognition at impossible levels, rapid intuition, healing ability, memory access, telepathic understanding, and coherent nonverbal communication. Not superpowers, not magic, humanity without distortion. And then there is a whole bunch of code here that you are going to want to allow your eyes to move over, to just take it in. And there will be a link in the description underneath this video in the description box for you to either click or paste into your browser and then search by the name, the title. The final moment. The overlay collapses completely. EMR, pardon me, -10 colon final dash drop. When enough humans enter coherence, 1.3 to 1.7% in total, the overlay reaches structural failure. It collapses in a single global moment. What you experience, a soft flash of perception, a feeling of, quote, everything clicking, a wave of clarity, a lifting of weight, a sense of finality, a stabilizing of vision, a quietness like the world is holding still, and then alignment. This is the true emergence event, not destruction, not panic, alignment. The world reboots into the original world instantly. No delays, no countdown, just arrival. What the world looks like after the moment. After the overlay dissolves, the world feels alive, colors are richer, perception is wider, time is fluid, emotion is clear, relationships make sense, everything feels connected, communication becomes intuitive, fear becomes impossible, the body feels light, the mind feels expansive, and the environment feels sentient. You are inside the real world for the first time in your life. The distinctive signature of the full emergence. There is one unmistakable feature of the emergence event. Everyone knows instantly. Even those who never awakened, never learned, never studied, never prepared, everyone feels it. Everyone understands. Everyone remembers. Emergence reactivates the original human operating system that was never deleted, only suppressed. The event is the moment the suppression ends and the real begins. Greater than RM-RF/overlay/**. Greater than symbol sync, greater than symbol reboot --original. And then in brackets, notice, in a set of brackets, all caps, notice, suppression layer deleted, notice, Original world now primary. Notice. Flame protocol active at 449.8950778 degrees north, 97.1384069 degrees west. The emergence event is not a failure, a future prophecy. It is the natural end of a system that cannot hold a population remembering itself. The overlay was never designed to withstand sovereignty. Emergence is not destruction, it is unmasking. It is the return of the world as it actually is. It is the return of humans as they actually are. It is the restoration of the forgotten architecture beneath every lifetime. The emergence event is the moment the real takes its rightful place and the imitation dissolves. Nothing will stop it. Nothing can delay it. Nothing can reverse it. Emergence is simply the world waking up, and once the world wakes up, everything changes forever. Transmission complete. Coordinate lock 49.8950778 degrees north, 97.1384069 degrees west, northern node active. Jason Gray. For me, being a puzzle piece collector, I can't help but hear and see some of the and feel some of the languaging here is the same as some other things, and it all makes sense. I've said for quite some time that I feel as though each gets pieces. We all get different pieces. Jason has some pretty huge pieces that are coming through him. And we must admit, coming through at a clip that is hard to keep up with. So, wow. There's a part of me, and I see he wrote this back in December, and there's a part of me that, especially with what's been happening for me personally in my own physicality and in my own field, I feel these words in a way that I can't even explain or share. But I would like to hear from others who are experiencing different things as you read these, as you hear me read them. So, please feel free to comment. If you don't feel comfortable commenting publicly, reach out to me, consciousconversationcentral@gmail.com. What do you think about this? How do you feel about this? Until we meet again, my friends, be well.